this was a pretty big move, and one of the big reasons we came out here was because of cost of living. Cost of living in California, we had a much smaller house and we paid a lot more for it than what we are here. We had a 1,300 square foot home, and we were able to sell it and buy a 2,800 square foot home with an acre and a half, which we had no land before. And so we've actually got a lot more room now, and we paid in the hundreds of thousands less for what we would have cost, what our other small house cost us there. So that's a big part of why we came out here. Having now 3 boys, we've got the room to run around, and we've got a place for them to kind of be boys, to go out and run out in the yard, and we've got trees. And I'm going to do a little tour on the property in just a few minutes. But this is just kind of an intro to get you to understand some of my interests and what you can expect to see here on this blog. So some of the other reasons we wanted to come out here is we like to live in I want to say an organic lifestyle, but for lack of a better word, I guess you could call it an organic lifestyle. We want to be able to spend less and get more kind of out of life. We want to be able to do things for ourselves and not rely on big box stores, and definitely, so the big name stores and food companies and stuff like that. We wanted to get away from that a lot, and out here there's a lot more farmland. Now California has a lot of farmland, but not near Orange County, so we didn't want to move up north in California. We decided to come out here because my wife has some family out here. So hello to all of Kim's family, and we wanted to be close to them so that the boys had cousins and stuff to play with and to grow up with, and so we chose Kentucky, and that and the cost of living. Now there's a lot of farms around where we live. We're in Oldham County in Kentucky, and it's a great location. We're just outside of Jefferson County, which is where Louisville is. Louisville is how you pronounce Louisville or Louisville or however other people pronounce it. In Kentucky, it's Louisville. So hopefully everybody will say if I said that right, Louisville. But I like to say Louisville so people understand it who aren't from here. So we're just a stone's throw away, 20-minute drive or less, and we're into Jefferson County. We're in Oldham County, which is just northeast of there and just south of the Indiana border. So some of the other things that you can expect to see here on this blog are, I wanted the land not just for the kids, but I wanted to be able to grow some of our own food instead of spending a lot of money on organic food and having to go to the store and get stuff. I wanted to be able to provide for my family. Now I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm an at-home dad. I like to call myself home dad. So I've got 2 boys. My wife makes a good living and she enjoys her job and she's very good at what she does. And I am a photographer and I run a photography business. Right now it's on the side because we have chosen to be able to stay at home with our kids in the early years at least until they can go to school. May homeschool them, but I think eventually we'll put them into the schools, especially since there's some really great schools here in Kentucky, especially the county that we're in. So with that said, we wanted to be able to grow some of our own foods. We got the acre and a half, so we've got a huge area for that we can grow, have a big garden, and I can do all kinds of stuff that I want to do. I want to do raised bed gardens, some square foot gardening. Looking forward to doing vegetables and fruits. It's all going to be organic. Some of the other things that I wanted to be able to do would be to raise chickens, so for our own supply of eggs and to give away to people, neighbors, friends, people who need them. And something else that I'm not sure if we're going to do meat chickens, but I do want to do meat rabbits. And now that might be something that a lot of people don't like. That's okay. My wife doesn't particularly care about it or want to. She says she won't eat it, but we'll see. We'll probably start real small and see how it works. My viewpoint is if the U.S. people in the U.S. started using rabbit meat and ate rabbit meat, there'd be a lot less hungry people because they're small, they're quiet, and they're easy to raise, and it could help nutrition-wise for families who don't have as much money, they can be kept indoors. You don't have to have a lot of room to do it. We are going to keep them outdoors. So that's something else I wanted to, another forte I wanted to venture into. Bees is a huge thing that I want to do, and we're going to do that. We've got enough land that I can start a hive and maybe see how that goes, and maybe expand to a second one, or we'll see how that goes. But beekeeping is something that's been interesting to me for a very long time, and so that's another one of those little things that I want to be able to build a beehive itself, and then watch the colony grow and maintain that and get honey from that. So, and I've got a cousin and his wife up in Modesto, California, and they have a business called Urban Delights Honey. So if you're interested, you guys can look them up on Facebook, Urban Delights, and tell them I sent you over that way. They've got great honey products, and it's all some good stuff from what I hear. I haven't actually tasted it, to be honest, but they are pretty popular and gaining popularity. So, so one of the other things I would love to do, but I'm not sure if I will do or not, is to have a goat for goat's milk, one or two. We are in a development, so it's a I can't even think of the word. It's a development and a subdivision. Thank you. So we're in a subdivision, and they have certain rules that you can and can't do. Goats is listed on it, but I've been told by the neighbors that I've met around me that they wouldn't care less or couldn't care less. So we'll see if I decide to go and try to risk that, see how that goes. And so that takes me to one of my other things that I want to do is I am by default, because I did it for so many years, I'm a carpenter. I do a lot of building. I have done a lot of building. I worked for 15 years with my dad building sets and stuff, and I want to transition into some more fine woodworking, some furniture making, and that's definitely something you'll hopefully be able to see a lot of projects. I have a lot of people I follow on YouTube, Quetico Chris and Woodworking for Mere Mortals. Those are two of my favorite channels. There's a whole bunch out there. I'll definitely put links in for some of my other video blogs that I really love. But Steve Ramsey is definitely one of those ones that really got me into watching them regularly. And then Quetico Chris does all hand woodworking, hand tools. So, you know, no power tools. He's got a foot power treadle lathe, and he's got axes and chisels, and does everything by hand. He made a beautiful dining room table, which eventually I hope to do something similar for my wife. So, with that said, I am going to be building a new workshop, and I don't know if I'm going to purchase an outbuilding and make that into my wood shop, or if I'm going to go ahead and build from scratch. Kind of going to look out for the balance of the most cost effective with the least time consuming, being I have 2 kids and a third one coming in a month. I won't start it for another 3 months, so that won't happen right away, although I hopefully will get to some woodworking projects out of the garage, which we have no cars in there at the moment. And so coming up, I'm hoping to be able to show you guys what I'm going to be doing with my organic permaculture style garden. Permaculture is something I'm very interested in, and aquaponics is something I'm very interested in. So raising fish and using the fish waste to recycle the water to feed with appropriate nutrients and get the best quality organic fruits and vegetables that I can. And so that's something else that you may see here, how to do an aquaponics from scratch. I have none of this. We just moved here, so I'm going to go through selecting and building a chicken coop, to a rabbit hutch, to a raised bed garden, and designing that, and a workshop, and a beehive. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to go through. So I'm hoping that you guys will all join and become a part of this little community. Hopefully it'll build it into a community. And other than that, it's just a great way to keep friends and family back in California and around the country and around the world up to date of kind of what's going on with our lives and how it is. Because it was a big transition to move from California to Kentucky, knowing no one other than her family. So no friends yet here, although we're working on that. getting involved in churches. We're still looking for the right place for us, but we're definitely enjoying the search and the adventure that is definitely moving across country. One last area I want to mention is that I am an at-home dad. I prefer the term home dad because I'm not a stay-at-home. I don't stay home all the time, but I am the manager of this castle, and I'm going to run it like a business and save money, and that's going to be the way I contribute to the families to provide healthy organic foods and stuff for my family. But I definitely want that to be known that if you are a parent who is a stay-at-home, especially if you're a stay-at-home dad, there's tons of stuff out there for stay-at-home moms, but if you're a home dad like me and you're home and you run the house, you run the kids, and you take care of that stuff, this is the place I want you to be able to see how I do what I do. I've been doing it for now 3 years with my first one and a year and a half with the second one. So now I'm going to be doing it solely. I used to have a night job where I would work at night, and right now it looks like we're going to be doing it me here at home full time. So I wanted to make sure that other people know that. Doesn't mean that I'm only gonna gear stuff towards that, but I will hopefully have some things like that I'll tie into activities and stuff like that I do for the kids, especially outside. We're gonna be able to build a killer tree house soon. So with that said, I am gonna take you on a tour of the place. Again, I'm sitting in the basement. I say again because I had to do a second cut. But I'm in the basement, and we kind of just got it finished off. I'm gonna go ahead and get up and do some camera work and talk you through what you're looking at and give you a tour. So here we go. All right, so we're standing in the basement now, and this area is probably a good 1,000 square feet added onto our house compared to what we had before. And this is gonna be kind of just our hangout area. We've got stuff for the kids down here. You can see I've got my office down here, and we've got a little over in this corner back over there, we've got another little room, and you can see we've got this beautiful window, and outside that window is our backyard, which is lots of trees. And I'll even go through and switch down so you can see that. It's snowy outside, and hopefully it'll be spring soon, but that is that's outside, and we've got a little bit of a slope out there, and I'll kind of go through that later on. But that's the main portion of the basement. And so this is looking from the other direction, looking back where I was just shooting from. You can see the stairs going up to the main level. And to the left of the stairs there, we have an additional room, which is what is splitting, is this wall here. That's another room that we have there. And over on this side over here, this is a doorway that leads to our laundry, some storage, another bathroom, and all of our utility, like our heat pump and all that good stuff. And you can see that I got my office there, and another quick view over there of what will eventually be our snack bar kind of area. So that's looking back the other way. All right, so here's a view looking up towards the driveway. Those stairs take you up to the driveway. To the left there, you'll see some steps going up to the deck, which is what we're almost under. And the house is directly to the left there. And as I swing around all the way to the road there, past all those trees, that's all ours. And it goes all the way down, and you might be able to make out there's a home right down there, directly in front of that tree, dead center. Just past that, past all those woods, there's another home. And just 15 feet or so from his property, or from his home, is our property line. And it goes all the way over this direction. I know there's trees right in front of you. I'll give you another view here in a minute. And this is all looking up. And you can see we're on a little bit of a slope. It looks probably worse than it is because this tripod head is a little bent. And then I was just sitting inside the basement there. I got a bunch of boxes sitting over there, so I'm not going to push that onto there. But you can see we've got some beautiful, beautiful tall trees. I'm really excited to see what the foliage looks like. Obviously, it'll be green. There's looking up at but these are some 60 foot tall or so. I'd say a lot of these 60 foot tall or so trees. These are hardwood. I don't know what they are yet. I do know that they're hardwood. Got that little fire pit and all that area right there underneath it is a deck. Probably rebuild that and do another new fire pit. Kind of looks like they might have used it for cooking on top of before, but we'll figure that out. Do something new over there. And you see, they had a rabbit hutch there before. And lots of nice little birdhouses around. You can see there's one kind of up there in the tree. That little square dead center at the top. And let me go ahead and move to another spot. Okay, so here's another quick view. This is kind of going to be looking back up at the house. And there's our shed. There's the house. A beautiful house. I love it very much. It's the big tall window at the top there. That is definitely one of the highlights of the house that we really loved quite a bit. Helped decide. That's a great room up there. And then kind of pull back here. And I'll keep going here. There's the driveway where the car's at. And it literally, there's the rabbit hutch. You see, it's just a lot of room. Got so much room to do. Back into these woods back here behind me that are covered with snow. And this little stand of trees right here is one of my primary locations. I'm thinking about doing a playhouse. A nice big playhouse here between these trees, going back and forth. Maybe a bridge and some stairs and swing. Just make a playground and a treehouse out of it for my boys. But other than that, there's the basement door at the bottom there. You can see that. A nice little deck. It's not a huge deck, which is nice. Low maintenance. Needs a little bit of work on it. We'll hopefully be able to do some of that. And I'm considering putting the next workshop probably right about here, going this way on that hill, and moving a couple of the trees out there, and then using the middle area between the storage shed and the workshop as part of the chicken run. And I'll have wood storage and all that kind of stuff for drying out my firewood. So, see, we've had quite a cold winter here compared to what they usually have, apparently. And I'll show you back behind me again, so you can see a little bit more. And there's that house. You can see that there. But these are all our woods right here, which is awesome. And down at the bottom, just out this way, past his property, there's a creek that runs by. It's pretty much just a runoff, like a drainage ditch, but it's essentially a creek because that's what's down there. So I really do love the views of the trees, and you can see there's a nest up there in that one. There's nests all over. We're gonna have a lot of great birds. I've seen cardinals out here, and we'll frequently have several, up to 12 deer just walking, meandering through the backyard with their young. And it's peaceful out here right now. Alright, so I'll move around here. Okay, so basically I'm looking back down towards that other house, and I'm out on this front street, and I'm gonna do a nice little pan here, and that's the house. And I'm panning right in front. This hole is our big old blanket of snow, is our front yard. And it is a mighty big front yard. We've got this great big pine at the front. And you can see I got our mailbox out there. And our little cross streets. We're at the cross at the end of two cul-de-sacs, or just kind of crisscrossing right in front of two cul-de-sacs. And this is just the neighborhood. It's beautiful, and it's beautiful today. I'm going to zoom back over here, kind of pan down a little bit. You can see we actually have a lot of land now. This here is a drainage ditch that runs right through here, and you can see that it goes right under our driveway, which is all snow, but that's going down the hill. And there's a drainage ditch that goes down there. And our driveway comes right along here to the garage. But all this is free to be made into a garden. You can see they had some planters there before, but all the way back over to that other side. There's the house. Now this is a fluid head, tripod head, but it's just not a great one. So there's the house. I'm going to walk to the other side and show you. Okay, so I was just standing right there. So I'm shooting from the other side just so you can kind of see from each direction. Our front yard. You see the trees in our backyard. Now those are on a hill, so you can tell that they're very tall trees. There's the front of the house. There's the shed in the back. And our property line goes all the way over to that telephone pole right there. That's where it cuts down. And it cuts down right here and it goes kind of back that way. And probably 20 feet behind that shed. Got a great big beautiful window at the front of the house as well. And then this is a bathroom over on the right. The window right there on the left is a kitchen window, and the far left is a window that goes in the garage. And then we have a second story, and then the basement, obviously in the basement. So beautiful. A pan just down here. You can see down the block. Got that's a cul-de-sac down there. And then down where that car is down there, the cul-de-sac. Technically that's actually a driveway to somebody else's house, and that's the only house down there. So it's just a beautiful neighborhood. And all of this, I'd say out of the 1.5 acres that we have, probably half, 0.4 acres are up here in the front. So it's a maybe even half an acre up here in the front. It's a lot of room to do gardening. I got more than enough room, and we'll be able to do some other stuff out here too. So, all right, so I'm going to do a little walkthrough now. There's the front yard. Now this is a wide angle lens, so this maybe makes it look way huge, and it is pretty big, but it's not as probably as big as it looks. So I'm going to just do a little bit of a walk. I'm kind of using my tripod to steady this, so it's not going to be perfectly steady, but hopefully it's better than handheld. I'm just going to walk down, and what we're doing is I'm walking down basically one side of the property line. You can see the house is there. Alright, so this is a potential site for building my workshop or a greenhouse. Probably wouldn't do the greenhouse till late in 2014 before winter sets in, but we'll see how that goes. So these are all our woods here. And it comes down all the way about to this pole where this dish is. It's about a little further in than that. I'm not going to walk all the way down there because I don't want to actually film into his house. But you can see that it goes all the way down there. And I'm going to trek through the woods here. You can actually see we've got, maybe you can't see, we've got some deer prints. I see some rabbit prints. There we go. Some rabbit prints. These are some deer tracks. Definitely lots of wildlife. I'm gonna walk through the woods here. It is really a spectacular sight. Got a little rolling hill going on over here. This is the one the deer use the most. Going through here. So about 20 feet that way, maybe 30 feet that way is our property line. And just kind of got a little clearing through there. And that clearing I just came through there. Maybe the bees over there by the road. So it goes all the way down here. And I'm back down to almost where I was. I kind of shot standing from over there a minute ago. And I'm going to walk down here and get through some of this. There's some brambles around here. So I'd say you can definitely see some prints there. So let's see, look right around here. There's our property line somewhere. I actually haven't seen the line, but I know it's coming back down from that way. Comes right down here. And right across this part. This is the water's right here. And then his kind of starts about 20 feet that way. And you can see I'm following the deer prints because it's the easiest way to go. There's the shed and the house. Back the way I came. I'm just going to keep walking down to kind of around where the corner of our property is. And I think it's probably right about here is our property line. You can see there's another house there. Our house is straight ahead there. So kind of straight, if you look dead center in the middle, it's going straight up. Dead center there, that's about our property line going right down here. It's like right here, straight there. And straight down, up to the house there, to the yard, to the road. All that way I just walked. And then about straight that way. His house is there. You can see the car or something there. And then straight that way is ours. So let's say right around here is the end of our lot. Kind of go back this way. I got a little wood pile going here they left for me. Got my little shed right here. Right now we're just using it to store some stuff. It does have electricity to it. And so I may use this for building some of my first few projects. It's a decent little 14 or 12, 10 by 16 shed, 10 by 14, 10 by 14 shed. And that's the shed right now. Back behind it. And looking right back up to the street up there. And this is my slice of heaven. Lots of room to stretch out, do some stuff, watch deer, cardinals, rabbits, squirrels. You know, there's supposed to be foxes and coyotes around. Raccoons. Looking forward to seeing some of those, although I'm not really looking forward to the deer trying to eat my garden. But back to the basement. And then the big window up there. Need to do some cleaning on the side of the house. And here's one of the paths you can't see because it's covered with snow. There's another path going right down there, right down to the fireplace. I definitely want to redo this fireplace. It is kind of a disaster, but it'll be nice. Get this big deck I'm standing on fixed up. I'll just walk through the yard here. Probably take this little area here. It's kind of a planter bed for a bunch of plants that don't produce anything, so I'll probably turn it into a little area that will allow me to plant some stuff there since it has good sun exposure. Going up to the deck now, just covered in snow, and I'm gonna build a new base for that, so that'll be a fun project. It's my smoker, and then here it is, my view from the deck. There's the door. It's just beautiful out here. Let me put a little bench out here. Alright. So, I really am happy and blessed. We love where we live. We love what this has brought us, the opportunities that we have now for doing some of the cool things like growing our own food and staying organic and nice area, place for our kids to run around and play, and it's not breaking the bank. We're actually saving a lot of money, and so you know, a lot of people are interested in moving out of areas that are overinflated. Everything's expensive. So you know, if you live in a big city like Orange County, California, or San Francisco, New York City, LA, you can move out of those areas and go to smaller areas, or you can move out of those states and go out to some of the less populated states. Louisville's not it's not a small city by any means. It's like the 17th largest city in the United States, but we're just a stone's throw away, and we've got all this this room. There's a lot of room out there to do a lot of different things. So you know, you're out in the boonies, but you're not really out in the boonies. But you are, but you're not. So boys woke up. I'm gonna take you guys around the house and the inside, and we'll wrap up this video because I know it was pretty long. So this is in the living room. There's our fireplace and the great big window that I was telling you about that you saw from outside. So you see outside a little bit. That's our view. It's a great view. There's my baby. My baby. And my baby. At the kitchen. It's a little bit mess. We're doing some work in it today. And there's the deck. Okay, we'll turn it back on in a second. And right behind me is the kitchen. I'll show you in there in just a second. There's the stairs going downstairs to the basement and upstairs to the boys' rooms. And then, so you can see so there's the kitchen, the dining room on the left, and this is our kitchen. Out to the main bathroom right there. Pantry on the right. Some shelves. In this area you'll get to see a little bit more in some future videos. Is my growing rack for my temporary greenhouse. And then a little bit more storage behind me here. Alright, so that's the inside of the house. I didn't take you upstairs to see the boys' room because it's just, you know, the upstairs is just a couple of rooms. We'll maybe get to some stuff up there once I do some projects in their room. And then I didn't show our bedroom. If we do something in there, you know, show it. Otherwise, there's no real need for it. And then the garage. I will definitely probably do some videos showing some of the stuff in the garage because I'll probably use the garage for a workshop as well as the shed. So that's it. welcome to my little homestead. I'll call it the Home Dad Homestead or something. I'm a home dad, and it's my homestead. We're going to do our permaculture, our aquaponics, our organic gardening, my woodworking, chicken raising, beekeeping, goat herding, you name it. So this is the video for all my friends and all my family who we moved away from in California, and all my friends at Apple Store, South Coast Plaza, SCP. What's going on? I told them about you guys all about this video, and here it is. And then all of our friends at like Newport Mesa Church and Orange County and California, and all of our friends that we moved away from. So this is it. This is where God's given us the grace and the blessing to be able to be out here. And you can see it's getting cold. I think the temperature is dropping. It's going on 5 o'clock here. We're gonna start losing light, but that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs up. You don't need a thumbs down. I know if you're not bored, just move on. Hope you guys will be able to stay in touch with us, and all the people who don't know me and don't know us. I really hope you enjoy what we're doing here, and I want to build a little community where we can all come together and kind of see it. And there's a lot of other people out there who are doing this. I love watching them, and so I've always wanted to do it myself, and I want to document what I'm doing. So I want to be able to have my kids turn around in 15 years and go, wow, this is what how we started this. And so I invite you guys to join us and to come be a part of what we're doing here on our little homestead. So that's it. No cussing on my page. I'll boot you out or whatever, something like that, but I'd appreciate if we'd all keep it clean. So thanks a lot, guys. See you around.